There's a nice little gathering place not far from Legacy headquarters called the Tacoma Dome. And when these chairs are full, that gathering can be more than 20,000 people. And of course, every one of them wants their cell phone to work when they're here, which is why they put in a distributed antenna system, DAS for short, to provide that kind of concentrated coverage. One of the wireless carriers recently called on Legacy's DAS division to come and beef up their presence here. That means Chris and Grant will be taking a trip backstage, even though they're the only real rock stars here today. There's a little room tucked away on the ground floor that houses all the electronics. We're putting in some new transceivers, otherwise known as radios, that will turn the incoming light transmissions from the fiber into radio frequency signals, RF for short. We get the radios all physically mounted, and then we tie each one to a grounding strip on the rack before we start connecting them to the rest of the electronics. The power distribution unit sends a negative 48 volts of DC down the line to a number of GMT fuse panels, and we connect each of the radios up to the power there. Then the guys bring in a nice bundle of fire-resistant coax that we'll use to connect the components. We'll let Grant show you how it's done. First he cuts each wire to length and strips it and prepares it for the connector. Then he slides on the heat shrink sleeve and the crimp, and then pushes on the connector and crimps it down and shrinks down the heat shrink, and then connects that new line into the gear and ties on the label tag and prints up and applies the label. And for this project, that process was repeated 64 times. And here's the result. From the radios, we route the signal up to a universal DAS interface tray, UDIT for short, where they get conditioned, and then we route them up and over to the point of interface on the other side of the room. There the signals are combined and turned back into light to make the long trek to the different points around the arena. Then in a number of spots around the place, you'll find radios that convert the light back to RF again and send it on to one or more antennas in the arena that can actually talk to your mobile devices. And then when you click or talk or text, the signals flow backwards down that same path. And of course, we always test everything we've done thoroughly to make sure it's working perfectly. Nice work, Grant and Chris. Just a small part of keeping you connected. Score another one for Team Legacy.